Welcome back to another episode of the Zero to Hero playthrough. We have not been able to play that much, if at all, over the Christmas period, but I do hope that you all had a fantastic time all the same. We are still here, we are still on Zielonka, we are still in September, and we are still trying to do as many contracts as is humanly possible to be able to make as much money as is humanly possible to pay off that rather intimidating £1 million loan. Now, we have leased out this cultivator, which I'm hoping is going to make us all of the money that we can, but that is 3 rather large leases out right now, which is a bit concerning. Overall, I do think that the Prolander is one of the best cultivators you can buy for the money, and leasing it is just a good, sensible decision at this point of the game. I'm sure you'd have remembered from the last episode that I was hoping to have got this out before the end of August. However, I wasn't quite that lucky. This means I'm not going to be able to buy any pieces of equipment until the end of the 18 months from September. Going to get quite confusing quite quickly. Anytime we hit over 20,000, I will be paying off some of the loan to try and get that deficit down ASAP so I can start buying land and working the fields myself. By that time, I'm fully expecting that the Challenger that we have leased out is going to be running worse for wear. And I don't know whether I'm going to be able to repair it or not. I can't remember if you can repair leased equipment. You'll have to let me know in those comments down below. Also, do let me know how your new year was. I would love to hear about it. All I want for Christmas is to pay off this £1 million loan. But the good thing about it being on Zielonka is because there are so many fields, there are going to be so many contracts. And I shouldn't really run out. However, time in December is going to be crucial because December, January and February are going to be quite quiet. I don't know how eager the AI are going to be to plant cotton down, which means that December and January is probably going to be just wood, transport and dead wood contracts. I think that's pretty much all we're going to do. So the more effective I can get at doing that, the better. We do have the wood chipper mod. And I've been thinking a lot about the mods I'm going to use and stuff. And I think pieces of equipment that are going to make this playthrough more viable is probably the right way to go. However, this does mean that I have bought the wrong plow because I specifically did not get the Lizard MT6. The MT6, of course, being a subsoiler that is under the plow category and allows you to do straight plowing, which makes the job so much quicker, so much easier, so much faster. And the price of it is also pretty hard to argue with. So because we bought the normal plow, we're just going to have to stick with that. Otherwise, I end up selling it and leasing. And I don't really want to do that. So for today, it looks like we're going to be cracking on with cultivating. And then we've got 3 more fertilizing as well. We are on September 2nd, so I don't think we're going to have too much more to do. I haven't really seen any sowing contracts yet or anything, and even if there were, I'm only allowed to use the equipment that I've got. So that's going to make things, again, just more difficult. We do own some good equipment though, like that sprayer is really paying for itself. And obviously the plow, when we get some plowing contracts, as much as it might take a little longer, they do pay rather well. I should really be doing the headlands here, but it is what it is. We are going to have to make the best of a bad situation. I don't think we're doing too bad. Like I say, it's been a while since I've checked, but I think our finances are in good order. We have paid off £50,000 of the loan already. We've got 17k, and with all these contracts that we've got through right now using the More Missions mod, we have a ploughing contract up for grabs. We've got these 3 cultivating, and then we've got the fertilizing as well. We've got deadwood that we can take, and we have some harvesting contracts here, but I don't really want to be leasing a big harvester for that. I may end up leasing a hoe though, because the hoe contracts do pay really well. But we'll have to see what we've got and make sure that I'm not cultivating a neighbouring field, because that would be rather embarrassing. That's what I get for checking other things instead. I like the fact that if you put it on cruise control, it sort of raises the equipment so you don't damage other people's land. That is something I've not really noticed. I've noticed it with harvesting. When you're harvesting and if you become full, then it will slow down and essentially stop the cruise control. It's like adaptive, which is really, really handy. And it's saved me more than a couple of occasions. A few other things you'll notice in this video from the last is that obviously the camera angle has changed somewhat on both my cam and the wheel cam. I hope you like it. I hope you appreciate it. I've also got some shelving for Christmas, so I'll put some things up on the shelf behind me. It's one of the things that sort of made me want to change my camera angle a little bit. And I know some people have said in videos before that I'm not facing the camera, but it's just the way that the camera is angled. It's the best way that I can angle it for you lot. Making nice and easy work of this, as I really thought we would. This is just a shallow cultivator, and I've said in other videos before as well that it's a bit of a shame that shallow cultivating and deep cultivating and the different types of cultivator and disc harrows and stuff you get don't really act as they do in real life. They all do the same sort of job in game. As far as the game is concerned, it doesn't matter if you shallow cultivate or deep cultivate. It gives you just cultivate. But obviously the price of the equipment and the things like that and the fact that it notes that it is a shallow or not a shallow cultivator is a little strange to me. It's like, why give us all this information if then when it comes to using it, it literally plays 0 part at all? It's just a little odd for my liking. But hopefully in later games that won't really be an issue anymore. We've got 34... 77 and 39 to do for cultivating. We'll do the ploughing last because that's going to take the longest. And then we've got 3 fertilizing contracts. I can't remember if I need more fertilizer, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Also, for the next 17 days, or 15 days I think it is now, I'm currently being sponsored by Monopoly Go. If you are seeing this video for the first time and you want to help the channel, you just check the description down below. There is a download link where you can download and install Monopoly Go on your phone. Just play through the goals and you will help support the channel. It's that easy and it's pretty fun to do as well. Sponsorships really do make the dream work, and a sponsorship in January can definitely take the pressure off from a lot of other things that are going on with everybody and stuff. So yeah, you see a creator doing a sponsorship, help them out. Doesn't necessarily have to be me, but the link, like I say, will be in the description. All you'll do is click it and download it on your phone. Few more rows. Again, the nice thing about Zielonka is the fields aren't massive, so you can get them all done fairly quickly, so it feels like you're making good progression throughout the day. Whereas if you get some of the maps with like bigger fields on, even like Huten Pantai, which I think has the least amount of fields out of all the maps, but I could be wrong on that. Because they're so big, it takes you so long to get one field done that you feel like you don't really get too much done at all. So being able to play on Zielonka again, it makes for a really good multiplayer map as a result. Although, to be honest, Riverbend's done really well as well. Like, a lot of people are enjoying the dedicated server, and I'm enjoying the Moneymaker game that we're doing. Which, again, we will be on tomorrow. The dedicated server is currently in December. No, it's not. In January. We're currently on the 1st of January. Tomorrow's going to be the 2nd of January. So that's one of the reasons why we're playing on the solo farms at the minute, because there's not a huge amount to do. It's just wood and wood. Wood and more wood. I'm hopefully going to be able to get away with that on this playthrough, and we will obviously be going through September and all the way through to next year. So the winter months, November, December, January, February, hopefully aren't going to be that bad. And again, I'm hoping that because we have so many fields, we'll have plenty of ploughing and cultivating jobs still to go after that October harvest. I don't know how long it's going to take to pay off the £1 million loan, but if you guys want to put a prediction down in the comments below, I'm all good to see how long you think it's going to take to pay off £1 million. Considering we are 2 months in and we've already paid off 50,000, it's looking pretty good. And if a lot of these cultivating contracts, fertilizing and ploughing and stuff do pay as well as what I hope they're going to, I don't think it'll be too long at all. I don't think we're going to need to start leasing things out too badly. But if we do, I want to sort of end all leasing on September. So if I do decide to lease out a hoe, etc., I've got to be really careful because I want things that are going to have year-round use. And I don't know how much use or how much it's going to cost me to keep the hoe going. It's going to be a tricky one. I think I've done all right so far. Outside of buying that fertilizer tank that was really, really stupid of me, I don't think I've made too many mistakes with what I've leased out so far. I think buying the fertilizer sprayer with the ability to do herbicide as well has been absolutely massive, and we don't have to worry about money coming out for that. I'm glad that we're going to constantly get the wood transport contracts because I feel like they are going to pay for the lease of the truck. Maybe make us a little bit of money on top. And obviously saving the wood from the deadwood contracts is incredibly useful as well. That was turn. Get this last row done. And then we can head over to 77 and 39. 39 I don't think is too far away. 39's down nearby the shop. So we'll head there now. Nice and easy. I totally did not get lost on the way. But again, this is a nice, small, thin field, which is not going to take us any amount of time really to get sorted and through. Means we can collect that money for all 3 cultivating contracts as soon as I've done them. And essentially pay them off ASAP. I do have to be careful because we need to get... I think we're going to need some more fertilizer, some liquid fert. Obviously that's not the cheapest in the world, so I'll have to wait until we have done this to figure out just exactly what is going on. Yay, there's a lamppost in the way. Who doesn't love that? I don't know if I'm going to get more cultivating contracts come through. I'm hoping I do. But it is only 8 in the morning, so I think we can get a full day out of this. I'm hoping we can get a full day out of this. It's very peaceful. When you hear like the aeroplane sounds and stuff, it is very, very peaceful. Although I am glad you don't get the horrible woodpecker sound like you do on Riverbend. The obnoxious crickets and the woodpecker are my worst, least liked sound effects in the entire game. They are so persistent and so obnoxious. I really don't like them. I really don't like them at all. Just let me know if you are also not a fan. The only thing that winds me up about this is the fact that the AI have let the field go withered. And I know that in theory that's probably a lot of my fault because I am only allowed to take contracts where I own the equipment, be it leased or otherwise. Like, I can't borrow from the contract because a little bit too OP doing that. But still, you'd think they'd, like, at least themselves farm it, but I guess we'll find out. I don't want to lease a harvester because I know it's going to be really expensive, but at the same time, I kind of do want to lease a harvester to get some of these late harvest contracts done. But I know how expensive the roper is to lease. I don't think I can afford that sheer cost. I don't know whether it's because it was bugged, but on my solo playthrough, I leased it at 5 times speed and then went to real time. So literally every 2 hours I was getting charged 10 grand. Almost crippled me. By the time I finally gave in and went, yeah, now this isn't working, it had charged me £97,000 in total. So this is why I say you've got to be really careful when you lease equipment. You've got to be super on the money as to what you're doing. Right then, field 77. Where is field 77? That's where field 77 is. Right, okay, cool. That's nice and easy to get to. We can do that. And just like that, as if by magic, we have arrived at field 77, which again looks like more withered crops, but we're going to make the most of it, and we will take the payment quite happily, I think. I must admit, I do like the graphical changes of the ground that you get. Like, they looked okay in 22, but they look so much more defined and so much more detailed in 25 with this cultivator especially. Like, it looks like you've really cut down and sort of churned around the stalks and stuff. Like, it's almost like you've mulched without mulching. It looks really, really good. Looks really well. And left. I think this field is big enough to justify at least trying to do a headlands. Whether it works or not, I don't know, but it definitely lends itself to headlands being drawn. Even though it is still square edged and it is still fairly straight, it is a weird angle, this one. I don't remember it being quite as harshly angled in 22. There's a lot of comparisons you can make between Zielonka in 22 and Zielonka in 25. You've got the really obvious things like the BGA and stuff, but the field shapes are slightly different. They've changed the scaling so they feel a bit bigger than what they did. The biggest change is the inflation. The sheer cost of a field in 25 compared to 22 is bonkers. I think that if this had been on a challenge I'd done on 22 on Zielonka, I would already have a couple of fields by now. I'd have bought a couple of fields with my 100k, like 20 or 30 grand each before even looking at equipment, and I'd just lease the equipment and work the land. But you can't really do that. There are some fields that are a bit cheaper, like 40 or 50. But with leasing on top, like you just wouldn't have been able to do it. think the average price on here is 107, give or take. So much more expensive than 22. I guess it helps with balancing. Doesn't make it any less annoying though. Doesn't make it any less infuriating. Okay, so we're going to have to come back and do another slither. We'll do the big slither first, I think. Do the big slither, get it out of the way. Come back and get a bit on the right. Should definitely be the right call. Knowing that there's going to be a tiny little bit left here as well. And a lot is my overly aggressive turns. My overly aggressive turns definitely play a part in what's been left. For sure. And I'm sorry about the yawns. I have once again got the heating on and the house has got too hot. Now, that combined with the ever sultry tones of the Challenger definitely is making me want to curl up on the sofa, go for a nap. But there'll be farming to do. Can't nap when we're farting. Farming. Napping whilst you're farting should be fine. Can't see there being any issues with that at all. Free ball in it right now. There we go. Right, so 3 contracts. Completed. 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 That puts us on 24. That is good. That is very good. Right, so finances. I'm going to repay another 5. Puts us on 19. So we only need a couple of other contracts. We'll be able to pay off another 5. This is what we like to see. So I'm going to drive back to the farm. Well, the shop. Drop off the cultivator. Pick up the sprayer. See if it's fertilizer or spray that's in there. If it's fertilizer, we will see if we need to top up. I think we do. So we might have to buy one, which is 3 grand. But then as long as we make that 3 grand back on those 3 contracts, it'll be fine. This is very, very good. This is a good way to go. Okay, moment of truth. Do I have enough fertilizer to get this done, or am I going to need to buy some more? I don't know. All I do know is I see 2 pallets of fertilizer sat chilling. And the tank that I bought that I then can't use. See what we've got. What's in it? Herbicide is in it. Right. Do I have... Can I get a full thing of herbicide to unload? And I'm going to have to get out and get back in again. Is that herbicide or is that fertilizer? Right, that's fertilizer. So what we can do here is we can unload the lot and keep it as 1 pallet. Which makes it easier for me to keep tabs on. And then we can go ahead and pick the fertilizer up. And then we can go... Get these fields done. 600 litres. Right, 46 is ploughing, 56, 14 and 88. Cool. I don't know where any of those are. Right, we'll start with 88. Start with 88. See how much this 600 litres takes us. And then we'll come up to 56. And then we'll end on 14. If I can get 88 done on this one lot, then we can buy some more fertilizer to do the other two fields. We have made it to field 88. I don't know what's on the field. And quite frankly, I don't care. It's not my field, not my problem. What we've got here in one piece. Just so that we can get through all 600 litres without too much issue. Too much hassle. I mean, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty achievable. 2 and a bit runs, maybe. I'm alright with that. I think we can get through that with less than 600. It speaks to the level of scale that the field has, considering that even though this is one of the shortest sprayers that you can buy at 24 meters, the fact that it will still get this field pretty much done in 2 passes is bonkers. Also, as a random note, I don't think you guys can hear it on stream because my noise gate is actually pretty good. One of the doggos is streaming and I keep hearing it yelping in the background, like a good yelp, a playful yelp. It's very, very adorable. And around we go. Yeah, we'll do the 2 headlands and then we'll come back up. Just under 200 litres for a full side thing. I think we'll be alright. Because then, you know, 200 and... We will need to top up before we do the others, but I think we'll be okay. I think we'll get out of this unscathed. I'm watching it go down. I don't like all the weeds on it. I know we've technically already sprayed it, but still. It looks such a mess. Right, 200 litres left. I need you to just... Oh, can we get away with it? 170 litres to get to the other end. I don't like this. I do not like this at all. This is a little bit too close for comfort. Especially since if we don't do it, I'm going to have to drive up, refill, and then drive back down again. That's going to be really annoying. Like, really, really annoying. That's 90 litres, 13%. Come on, little sprayer. Don't let me down. You are legit. You are legit. Cutting this fine. 5, 6, 7. Oh! 8, 9. Go on, go on, go on, go on. 10 litres, 10 litres. Yeah! With 8 litres to spare. 8 litres to spare. But we got it. We smashed it. Right, okay, cool. So we'll go back. We will collect that contract because it's a decent paying one. We will then get some more fur, which is going to cost us another 3 grand. And we'll see. And if we're at 20k, then I'll put 5k off. 8 litres, man. That is a lot. That is a lot to take in. Farming should not be this stressful. Farming does not need to be this stressful in January, is what it needs to be. I know we're in September in game, but IRL farming needs to chill out a bit to calm itself. Needs to not be so aggressive. Okay. So I'll park up. I will then collect the contract. Double check to see if there are any more that have popped up. And then I will buy another thing of fur. Right, we'll buy the fur first, I think. Buy the liquid fertilizer first. And accept. I think we're going to be a little bit under the 20k, aren't we? We have got another cultivating contract out, so we can accept that. That'll help. That's another 2 grand. Hoeing, spraying. We've got a couple of spraying contracts. That could be useful. We'll accept those as well. Right. So I want the fertilizer. I'm going to fill that up first. Get 56 and 14 done. And I really do hate that bug. It's really annoying. Oh, this gets us. The advantage of 56 is that it is a small field. It's not 8 litres small, but it is pretty damn small. We can get this one done pretty quick. I think, if I remember rightly, field 14 is fairly large. One of the larger fields on the map, so that should pay out quite well. And the sunflowers look pretty. Like, they really do look pretty. Until it comes time to harvest them, and then they look terrifying. Oh, that is the worst possible outcome. Stupid trees. Try this again. That is not an efficient way of doing this. and has definitely cost me in the long run. Okay, Headland's done. We're gonna go down the middle for that. Beautiful. Right, that's that one down. So we're gonna go. We'll pick up some more fur just so we've got a nice full container. And then from that, we will do field 14. What a trick it is to get to field 14. It feels like it takes the entire map. I mean, we did just come from essentially the middle bottom of the map to the very top end. But again, it's field 14. It's quite thin. It's not going to take that long to do, which is good. And we're away. Now, the other nice thing about this is you can actually see where you've been on this one. The only bad thing is it is on a hill, which means this challenger might struggle a wee bit. But for the most part, you can definitely tell where you've been with the fertilizer. So since I've got cruise control on and steering assist, I'm going to go in and collect my money. Collect my pennies. It was only 733 quid. We are getting 1,475 from this one. So this one's paying out a lot better. And we've got another one, 37, so we can do 37 after this one. 37 is just across the way, so that's not too bad. And this is it. It's all about just finding the best contracts that we can utilize. I've said before, I kind of want to be clearing around the 10k mark per day, right? Per day in game, if I can come out and say that I have paid back 10,000, then that's pretty good going. And we're sort of teetering on that 20k mark for me to do that safely. I don't know how much it's going to cost me in leasing. And I'm scared. Annoyingly, this is going to make me waste quite a bit of fertilizer. I don't want to. I could probably change the work mode. And the spraying width, but that requires a level of effort that even I don't have, especially with this. And I do apologise for the doggos barking in the background. They have clearly heard something that needs attention. Sorry about that. Clearly somebody breathed wrong as they walked by the house. And we can't be having that now, can we? So I'm going to complete the contract. Paid for it. Then we've got 37 to do, which pays another grand. And that's taken us over the 20,000. So I can go here, go to finances, repay 10. That takes us to 940,000. We're getting there. Slowly but surely, we are chipping away at this. It'd be interesting to see if I've got enough money stored up after all the contracts and stuff and the leasing costs and things to actually start making some serious cash. Like if I can do every contract available, I will make more than enough money. Whether I'm going to be able to sustain that with the leasing costs and everything on top. But again, I mean, the fertilizer pays for itself. We spent 3.2 and we've already replenished that from the contract that we did. And then these three are just essentially, you know, profit from here on out. We'll do this. We'll do the spraying because it's less faffing about. We just unload the fertilizer that we've got. I will probably load up the rest of the fertilizer first and then unload it so we've got as close to a full pallet as possible. I'm not gonna lie, it would be a lot easier and a lot simpler if I had have bought or leased a tractor that had a 3-point attacher on the front of it. Definitely my worst mistake thus far. Field 37 is indeed a fertilizing contract. Let's go. And on we switch. Again, this will be a really easy 1-2 pass. Nice and easy £939. I must admit, the placement of the BGA is just insane, and it's so big, and yet so expensive all at the same time. I do need to get some smaller BJs in on my other playthroughs, I think. Find somewhere to put it. I'm a little ashamed. One of my favourite, or not ashamed, ashamed's the wrong word. Disgruntled. That's a better word. I'm a little disgruntled by the fact that one of my favourite features of one of my favourite modded maps on 22 didn't make it into 25, and I'm not overly surprised because as far as I know it's the only map that did it, but like the dude that made the map Oberthal included a production power system, so you had to power it as well as also feed your grain and or your materials into it. And you needed like an energy storage and all that stuff, and it added another layer to farm sim that I didn't know farm sim necessarily needed. But once you've played with that system, going back to a system that doesn't have that is quite a jarring shock. And then when 25 came out, it didn't really utilize the power system or anything like that with the generators. I'm not gonna lie, it made me a little sad. Because the thing is, with the energy charge as well, you were able to see how much electricity you were producing, which meant you knew exactly how much energy you had, and therefore how much money you were making. But the generators in this just kind of you get an amount. You get an amount, and that amount is variable depending on where you put it, but you have no real way of figuring out what that is outside of what it tells you when you put it down. I mean, something else that would work would be something when you put it down that says this will earn you this much per month on a, you know, at max and on low. I think that would be pretty good. Right, let's see how much fertilizer we've got left in here. Hello? Oh, that's not fertilizer, that's why. That's spray. Never mind. Let's try again. Still got to get out and get back in again because bugs. Okay. Wasn't enough, but now we've got at least a full thing. I want the spray. How much spray we've got in this thing? 71 and 24. $858 liters. Well, okay. Right, we'll go and do 71 first. I think that's the biggest field of the two. So apparently, when I said that 71 is the biggest field out of the two of them, I was lying through my teeth. 71 is the tiny field that's only paying us 300 quid. But that means I can get it done out the way, and then maybe with the 600 liters, get another field done, get 24 done. Might be able to pull this off, but this is actually going to be a single pass, not even a big pass at that. Straight down. And it has decided to bug on me. Because it's not registering as completed. So I'm using my spray, but the field refuses to see it. So that's fun. I'll have to try that one again. I'll log out, log back in again. That is really weird. I don't know why it's done that. Who doesn't love a good bug? So instead we're going to go and find field 24. If 24 registers, and if 24 doesn't register, then my game is bugged and I can't do spraying contracts, which is going to literally break this game. Literally break the playthrough, which is less than ideal. Luckily, we barely used 100, so we might be okay with 24. I will be big mad if that is not the case. Daisy, round we go. I wonder if it's because I've been switching between fertilizer and herbicide so much, the game's just got really confused as to what I'm actually doing. Plus, if I can't find field 24, it won't matter anyway. Found it! Took a little while, but we got there in the end. Now, I wonder if the field 71 wouldn't count because the weeds had already sort of died off on their own accord. Yeah, because this one's registering. So I might just have to cancel it and hope that it comes back. Which again sucks. Major League Month 2. So I'll continue. I'll do this one. I'll cancel 71. Then we will jump into the cultivator and we'll get the cultivating done. I think that is probably going to be the best way of doing this. Gonna get lined up then for a second. I mean, the good thing about being able to see where you've been is that you know when to start and which direction you're going in. Again, this is a very odd shaped field. Super annoying. Super annoying. It is only 300 quid, but still, like, as long as my maps it lends itself to you merging fields, and field's not going to register something, then you're going to register it if and when I own it. But I do have access. Weird, on some maps it feels like the fertilizer is more efficient. Then on others it feels like the spray is more herbicide. Guess it just doesn't really matter. Just a little bit. Okay. 9. 100. Right, so we'll complete one and we'll cancel the other and see if it comes back. Really dumb, really annoying. We have got another cultivating one though. Good. Got a couple more fertilizing. We have got things that will keep us going. Uh, 11 is up there and 50 is down there. So I guess it might be prudent to stay in the spray again. Especially since I know I've got at least one full. 500 litres will be more than enough to do field 50, and then we can always refill and come back up to 11. Let's unload this fertilizer, the herbicide, sorry, and we'll pick up the fertilizer. Now, I know I've only got the one, so it's not too much of an issue. We can drop that there. Tell you what I do need to do. I need to keep an eye on the amount of time that we've got left on the ploughing contract. Because that could be a problem. Right, let's go and get field 50. And we'll go up and do field 11 as well. Okay, time's not that much of an issue. We've got 59 hours. So basically we've got until the end of the month for all of these contracts. Hopefully I'll be able to get another 5 grand off the loan paid. 5 grand more than we were expecting to. Out we go. Tell you all, that was pretty well lined up, wasn't it, eh? And off we go. So we get this one fertilized. I think this one is paying us 3 grand. So that will allow us to pay off another 5 for the loan, and then field 11's tiny. So I might, depending on how much is left over, get away without having to refill. Which would be really, really nice, because that means that we've more than almost tripled our money from the 3,200 that we bought. Stand by what I said, though. Fertilizer on Zielonka definitely seems to go down quicker than the herbicide. Then whilst we're going in a straight line, I don't know what we should. I don't know if we should take like a bale wrapper and lease that, but or maybe a hoe, hoe or a mower. I mean, mower would be really good. Owning like a little mower, but the biggest problem with that is that I would need to attach it on the rear. So I wouldn't need a very big one because I can't attach it on the front on this, right? Like, physically unable to do that. So maybe the mower. I mean, it depends how much we got through. If we can get through all of this, get through all of these contracts and have nothing new left to do once we've done it all and we've still got enough time, then leasing out one of the side mowers. So if we're going mowing, either the Samaz or the GMD. Samaz is cheaper. 4.4, 3.9. It is smaller. But yeah, either of those would be a good choice, I think. To lease out, because it wouldn't cost me a lot. If we're going for pure cheap, like the Samaz is better. Just the better, cheaper option. Keep them leasing costs low. But again, it's how many grass fields there are on Zielonka. How many people or how many of the AI are going to want to plant new grass. So it's a bit up in the air. It's a bit up in the air as to what you would want to do. Or what I'm going to want to do. We've got 2 cultivating jobs, a ploughing job. These 2 for... I don't know if that spraying contract's coming back. It might be busted. So it might not come back. Cool. And we've always got wood transport that we can take. Always got wood transport, which is a good way of getting us cash back. So during the winter, we're not going to be looking at... Well, after September, I'm not going to be looking at renting anything out anyway. So I can just focus all of my money on paying off the loan. I don't have to worry about leasing anything or anything like that. So I'm quietly confident. That we'll have it paid off by the first year, I think. The frequency of jobs right now is definitely encouraging. Right, 5, we're almost there. We'll drive all the way up to field 11 and all the way back down. Then we'll get the cultivating done and then we'll start on the ploughing. And the ploughing's going to take ages. But the thing with the angle plough is they are the most satisfying. By a country mile, they are the most satisfying. Yep, 20k. Another. There you go. 935k left, guys. That's all we've got. Okay, little level 11. Tiny little 11. Turn around before we get stuck on a lamppost. One step, 2 step. Job's a good one. I love how the AI is going around for like spraying other fields. That or I've already done them and I've not realised I've done them. because it's been like 3 weeks since I last played on this map. Down to the edge. From what I remember, yeah, no, I think I do remember doing this one because it said that I didn't have access to the field because it was in the corner. Yeah, I needed to do the corner in order to complete the field. It was really awkward and very annoying. Do it that way, look. And we just got to come back up. And do this one. See, I remembered. So, yeah, it was me that did this field because I remember how annoying it was. 5, 89, 90. There we are. Done. Absolutely magical. And another cultivating. So we're getting lots of cultivating coming up now. Is good. Sweet. We'll go over, we'll change the equipment over to the cultivator. It's been a very productive one, this one. Lots done. As I said, this has been a really, really productive session. We have done a load of contracts. We have paid off £15,000 more of the loan. We've only got £935,000 left to pay off. Then we can start buying some land and things. We have got some cultivating contracts to do next time and a ploughing contract. Plus, I'm sure we'll get a load more spraying and fertilizing contracts coming up as well. And I'm not going to lie, it's going to be nice to use that plough, although it is going to take what seems like an eternity. The cultivating's not too bad at all. I'm really happy with the Coon. Glad that we bought it, or leased it. And it's going to be really good to see where we go from here. So thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you enjoyed most in those comments down below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And I shall see you all next time. Ciao, ciao.